Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Locqube Chats. In this podcast, we're exploring the landscape of real estate and how it's changing. And this is our fifth episode. And today's topic, we will discuss about artificial intelligence in real estate. And when we think about AI, we often imagine it as an impersonal technology. But today, we're gonna discuss about the exact opposite of that. And in order to understand it, to understand this paradox. So now AI handles the administrative tasks and the task and the side of buying and selling a home, but also enabling a human touch. Our Manny Pantiga, the CEO and co-founder of Locqube, will help us with that. So welcome back, Manny.
Oh, it's good to be back, at least in this forum, Lisian. So thank you for creating the time for us to be together and kind of explore these conversations.
Thank you, Benny. So let's start at a higher level. So we hear about AI in real estate as it's actually being discussed in any other industries nowadays. So the question here is, uh, where is AI making a real impact today in real estate, and what is the misconception about AI in real estate today? What stands with AI in real estate? What's about that?
That's a good question. So let me try to break it down. Number one, there are two elements that we could potentially touch. Right? Is how to build AI, and the other one is what are the uses of the application. Today, we're going to focus more on uses and application. I'm not qualified, being the non-technical founder here at Locqube. I am not qualified to talk about how AI is built. I'll tell you that I have tried repeatedly to get in those meetings, but those guys, I would definitely be bringing the average IQ down. Uh, but not all AI, if we're going to just briefly high level touch, not all AI is created equal. Access to a large language model that is going to give us just a particular set of answers is obviously a lot better than has ever existed, but it's not our approach. Our approach is a lot more intricate, is a lot more sophisticated, and it's built intentionally, and it's built with the consumer in mind. So there is a lot of talk, and that kind of shifting gears a little bit. There is a lot of talk that AI is going to replace the real estate agent. What is the role of AI? Generally, people are just going to jump in and say AI is replacing the listing agent. We feel that nothing could be farther from the truth. Actually, AI is not necessarily going to replace the agent, but we have to recognize that AI is a deeply transformative technology. This is unlike anything else that we have seen, from the eyes of humanity when it comes to technological developments, and that would include the advent of the internet, the advent of software. AI is in its own category.
So the core idea for today, it is about AI taking over impersonal tasks. So the agent's role should become more personal and basically more involved into the selling process or buying process. Why is that? Why doesn't technology just make the human element less necessary?
Well, technology is not human. I think that I'd like you, in particular, as we build AI, the question that sets the foundation of all that we do is how will this get us closer to the consumer, and how will this get the consumer closer to their goals? So the underlying question or underlying philosophy for us is consumer centric, and what are the elements that we need to, what is the technologies that we need to build that is going to propel the consumer and is going to bring the consumer closer to the transaction, the agent closer to the consumer. But it's all centered on the consumer having a tremendous experience.
So if we mention negotiation, for example, as a crucial part to selling or buying a home, it is a highly emotional process. So we agree on that. So where do you see the clear line between what AI can and should do and what most must always be handled with a human touch?
That's a great question. It's a question that we ask ourselves a lot. We don't see AI sitting with homeowners that just got diagnosed with a terminal illness and guiding them through that life transition. We don't see AI sitting with homeowners that just had or buyers that just found a major issue in the inspection, telling them, hey, we've seen this before and this is how we address. So there is a human element, just like you mentioned, in real estate that we find it to be largely irreplaceable. This is going to sound harsh, but I am useless to a seller writing a description or writing a contract. There is the seller doesn't have any additional use of my context, my knowledge, and my experience that in a way that is going to propel them forward. Me sitting down and writing a description about a home, by the way, I'm not a great writer. It's useless. So we look at every element, we break down, and every step that the agent has to take, that the seller has to take in the marketing and the sale of the home. And one phrase that we throw around here at Locqube a lot is we're going to automate everything but the human touch. So with selling a home being so highly emotional, what we want to do is have the agent enter those spaces and have substantive conversations. I'll give you just a quick example. Our platform gives the seller the ability to see the offers as they come in. Yesterday, we got a call from a client as soon as the offer was submitted, and we were able to discuss the offer without having to do any additional administrative work. All we had to do is sit with the client and advise them through that process. They have, again, a unique situation going on in their lives, and the team of agents that is pushing the sale, and the client had a long conversation focused on, hey, how do we address every single point in the offer, in the transaction? So it releases the technology, and AI releases the agent to have more meaningful, more impactful conversations.
And since you're talking about Locqube and the platform here, how exactly Locqube have, or how have you built this platform at Locqube that enables both high tech and high touch? Like a specific example that gives us an understanding on why this transaction with Locqube is more efficient, it's more affordable for clients, it turns down the fees, and also it frees up the agent to provide better assistance and better service. So it looks like a dream when you think about it, because it offers better support, it enables technology, and also at a competitive price. How is that even possible? How that interrelates with the actual platform?
I'm going to speak a little bit away from technology, but when new technologies enter a system, enter an industry, the first thing that is required, the first two things, and not in any particular hierarchical structure, but the first two things that are required is creativity and imagination and courage. Creativity and imagination about what can be, how things can be different in the favor of the consumer, and courage to build it and to execute on those dreams, on those plans. At Locqube, we take great pride in building that which we imagine, again, in the favor of the consumer, and have the courage to carry it out. Because selling a home, we speak about this regularly, comes deeply connected to big shifts in life. It's not just a transaction, it is a transition in life. So how do we build technology that maximizes the human touch? How do we build technology? Not that it makes us colder, not that it makes us farther away from one another. It actually brings us closer together, especially in such an important transaction for the families that we have the tremendous privilege of helping in this process. How do we build technology that brings you closer? How do we bring technology that gives you more comfort, or that releases the agent to be there in those moments that are very important? When it is scary, when it is concerning, when it isn't clear what's going to happen, our agents aren't typing descriptions. They're not downloading pictures in the computer. they are serving the client. Again, what's going to move the transaction farther forward, and what's going to help the consumer achieve their goal. So that is the goal for Locqube. That is the goal for what we're building. And in any system that you introduce exponential, we're efficient. Not 5%, 10%, 50%. It's orders of magnitude, the amount of time that we give back all of our agents and all of our sellers. And when you're able to introduce that type of efficiencies, it calls for costs to come down. And that's what we did at Locqube.
Let's talk about the future. So one last question. What does the winning company in this new era of real estate look like to you?
Fully digital, fully human. That's the way that we view the future. It is anything that can be automated, as the great business quote that gets thrown around a lot, should be automated. And anything that gives us the ability to press in on those personal moments, to guide, to help consumers see the big picture, to let them know that we have been here either ourselves or with many, many, many other families, and it is going to be okay. So the winning company is a company that can build fast and execute at unimaginable speeds, that is also focused on consumers winning, and that's who Locqube is.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us that approach. So basically, the winning formula is blending technology with human experience. So the takeaway is clear. The best technology will not replace people, but it will empower them. And AI is a tool that allows us to do that with more efficiency, affordability, and also a deeper human experience in the real estate home selling and home buying experience. Thank you very much, Manny, for explaining all of this to us, and also where we are heading with the tech-powered market and real estate market in the future. So for anyone listening this, the first step in this journey for you would be to visit locqube.com and start with a free AI home value estimate. It's fast, it's easy, it's free, and is a perfect way to begin this journey. Thanks for watching us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Lisian.